Hey guys, what's up? This is me again. I'm coming to you now. I want to talk to you guys about bed fishing basics. I know a lot of people have a lot of different questions about bed fishing, and right now I'm going to go into depth a lot about the lures that I like to use when I'm bed fishing, and the line, the rod and the reel, and all that sort of stuff. And I'm also gonna basically break down a lot of areas where you can look for beds. First off, number one, let me explain to you the basics of a bed. All right, what happens when these bass go to spawn? Uh, what they're going to do is they're going to find a hard spot, and people say, why do they like hard spots? Why do they like spots with just sand? Because number one, if they choose to bed near a sandy area, they don't like that sand and stuff coming in through their gills, and they're going to get that in their filter, which is inside of their gills, and they can't really sit there and breathe that in. Hard spots like rocks and stuff, it's easier for them to sit in that one spot and breathe. Um, but basically, what you're going to find is that bed fishing. It's basically what you're going to find is you're going to find a big wide area, and the bed could be about as big as it could be that big. And what's going to happen is that there'll be a little hole in that bed, probably about yay big, but yay big just like that, or yay big, just like that. And down in the middle is where that little spot's going to be at. And and normally what happens is when you toss that lure in, if you can find that spot where that bass keeps on going tail up on your bait, what's going to happen? She's going to come up to it. She's going to go bingo, and you're going to drill her just like that. Um, and the female, a lot of times, if she's done bedding, what she'll do, she will take, she will, if she sees bluegill or crappie or something that she feels that is a threat to her eggs, she will run them as far as she can away from her babies as possible. She will run them out of that area immediately. She will just run them completely out of there. So right now I'm gonna shoot you guys a couple different baits that I like to use when I'm bed fishing. One of my favorite baits to use when bed fishing: Packazoon flukes. Flukes basically. One of the reasons why I like flukes is because they're super soft and they remind me of a shad. And a lot of times when the bass are bedding, the shad are bedding. And this is a really cool bait to throw on beds because a lot of times what you will see when you get up into spawning pockets, you will see maybe even yay big gizzard shad. And what happens is when those females get off that bed, a lot of those females, they will demolish a lot of those shad. And sometimes what will occur is the bass and the shad at the same time. You'll have the shad spawn going on at the tail end of the bass spawn, and what happens is when a lot of these females filter out of these canals and out of these little inlets and out of these pockets and bays, is they will stop on these little depth changes, and that's a lot of times, or on hard spots, and that's a lot of times where you're going to find a lot of those gizzard shad or some of those blueback herring, and those bass will just stop there, and that's a stopping point for them when they are heading out to their deeper areas. That's basically a stopping point for them. So that's a good bait to use. And here's another good bait to use right here: a lizard. I know I've came to you guys a lot about a lizard, but I'll be honest with you. With lizards, a lot of good colors to use: electric blue, chartreuse pepper, June bug, moccasin blue. Anything that's got bright flash to it, anything that's gonna, it's a key thing for you to be able to see your bait, and it's a key thing for the bass to be able to see your bait. The one reason why I like throwing this color is because I can see it and the bass can see it. Because basically what that means to them is if they can see it, and if it's somewhere near their bed, she's gonna think it's a threat. So if she thinks it's a threat, My thinking is she's gonna come up and she's gonna knock 2 or 3 feet of slack in my line, and that's gonna be a 5-pounder on my line, and I'm gonna be reeling her behind end in. That's one reason why I love using these bad boys. Let me pull something else here real quick. A whole bag of baits here, y'all. This is another one of my favorite baits, and this is a great post-spawn and spawn technique. I'll bring it 2 different colors here. Lemon chartreuse. These are a great thing to throw. Texas rigged, or I like to throw them wacky rig on 10-pound fluorocarbon. On 10-pound fluorocarbon, Berkeley Trilene, Vicious fluorocarbon works, and I like to throw them on a worm hook or on a round bait. Number one reason, it's so much wider. It's a wider area, so that gives that fish a really good chance, and it gives me a better chance to set the hook on him because with those little circle hooks, I think there's so little room for error. It's not even funny. It's not even funny how quick you can lose one on there. Another great call to use. Then we'll get moving on to the next bait here. Right here, a Thiolator. It's a bright orangey color. I like using these wacky rig the same way. One bait I do not have tossed here that I like to use during spawn is a sticko or a Senko. I love using those during spawn. But here's probably some of the best baits you can use. A brush hog. Right there. I caught a bass. In fact, last year, a little 2-pound female. Last year off a bed on this color. And this color is called Summer Craw. It's by Zoom. It's in a baby brush hog. And I'll tell you what happened. This fish was in a bed. My friend had flipped in there one time and had missed her. And I'll be honest with you, this fish, she was so easy to catch. What I did is I just simply flipped in her bed one time. Boom! Drilled right on her. Next bait. A jig. I love using jigs. Jigs are not one of my favorite baits, but they are going to become my favorite baits this year because I'm going to try a lot of these. And let me tell you, I've got a Bass Pro Shop 1/4 ounce enticer jig, brown and orange, so it's got that crawl looking color, and then I've got a green pumpkin trailer, a green pumpkin super chunk trailer by Zoom on the back of this bait. These are a great bass bait to throw on beds. I hope you guys enjoyed what I have been teaching you today. I will return with better videos. Please like and subscribe and comment. I want you guys to comment and tell me what you guys think about this video. And take these techniques out there. And when y'all's bass in y'all's area get to spawning, go catch you some big bass. Because let me tell you something, this is the time of the year right now and into spawn where you can catch some of the biggest stinking bass of your life. So go out there, catch more bass, have a great time, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.